Salute, this is Jeff.
This is David.
Hey, David, let's play Monster Hunter.
Yeah!
It's the anniversary festival.
Woo!
Technically, it's called the Appreciation Festival. So look at all those balloons. The ladies are dressed up in weird cat suits.
Yep. The handler
and the
has a hat.
Yes. And the cats are disco. They're great.
Yeah.
Because of the festival, all of the previous events are open, and this on PC is... This event was actually not available the last time for the last festival, which is fine because we can show it off here. It's Code Red. It is the Devil May Cry collaboration. So, much like the Mega Man one, you get different music depending on the weapon you've chosen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So it has battle music from all of the Devil May Cry games. Some of them, like Dante 1 from DMC 1. I'm not sure if it works exactly the same here, or if it cycles through the songs on this version.
That was a very good trap.
We know, look, play this a number of times, I know exactly what this thing's going to be. It's called Code Red because you're fighting 4 red monsters. So you get Anjanath, Notagaron, Rathalos, and then finally Teostra at the end.
Yeah.
One after the other, all 4. Fairly easy. The Teostra's the one that, has the most potential to do damage, but we're constantly setting up traps because they always end up in the same spot.
Yeah.
But either way, you get different music for different weapons. That's how it was on PS4. Again, I think maybe it's cycling through music, but the important thing is that it plays Taste the Blood.
It does.
Devil May Cry 3. Hey, that's a really good song. We did a version of it that you might enjoy looking on the channel if you want to hear that.
Yeah. Put a little card in the top of the video or whatever.
I don't know how to do that.
Link to it in the description then?
You know what? Maybe I'll just, maybe the description, maybe I'll include that as a link at the end of the video, something like that. So,
Right.
hey, we beat them. They fight the same way that they always do. I wanted to point out that this was an awesome, I just had to put this in here. Got him! That was unrelated. I went through this a number of times. We're getting red orbs, because it's Devil May Cry.
Of course.
And we need those to make the Dante, not layered set, but actual armor set. Each piece has its own thing. The layered set we can get from doing an Arch-Tempered Teostra, which is a whole separate thing. We can also make Dante's Devil Sword, which is a charge blade, and is extremely dope.
It's
because
so good.
It is it's the Force Edge, it's the Royal Guard, and it's the Alistor all at once.
Yes.
It's also kind of the Ifrit when you do the kind of hand fire explosion.
That's true, yeah.
So you get the Force Edge is the sword and shield mode. The shield is just the gauntlet, which is glowing red, which is kind of like your Royal Guard style from DMC 3. It converts into the Alistor, which is like a much bigger version of the Alistor. We take just a brief break here to look at a behemoth, which we'll come back to later. But I just want my cat to steal things from it.
What? Why?
Because I need to make... I want to make the behemoth armor because it's very good.
That's true.
But I didn't want to actually... I didn't actually want to beat the behemoth. So you take a plunder blade in, which we'll see the plunder blade later as well.
Yeah.
This is all... In case you hadn't noticed, this Appreciation Fest... again, different video. We'll see that later.
Yeah. Bye.
The Appreciation Fest it was recorded much later than a bunch of the other ones, just because it was more recent. So, anyways, there's some out of time things with the character here. This is a little bit of the Arch-Tempered Balhazak.
Grilg or whatever is a freaking clown car. What is that?
So look, you don't need to shame people. Some people have boisterous styles.
Oh, that's true. You know what? You're right.
So the Arch-Tempered versions of the monsters just have a giant crap ton of health and otherwise fight exactly the same as their tempered versions. In this case, we can see the extreme danger of fighting an Arch-Tempered Balhazak. I'm using a DPS set, which is why I wanted to make the Draken armor, which is the Dragoon set from the Behemoth. It just has a lot of really good damage skills, and even the Gable, which is the insect blade that comes with it, also very good. But you just don't want to get hit ever.
Ooh.
So like that, took off like 60-70% of my health. It turned around and killed me.
Huh.
It's very sad. But hey, this is actually a successful attempt. We got some good randos in this one.
Nice. Oof.
You just have to make sure not to get too hit.
Do you have the fluvial resistance on this set?
I do.
Okay.
Yes. That is damn near required. Why would you play this boss without it? Especially the Arch-Tempered version. You're just being silly.
Yeah.
You want 3 levels of effluvial resistance so you're not getting your health cut in half.
Randomly, yeah.
And when he goes, the Arch-Tempered one goes to sleep, he sleeps in the acid. So everyone put their bombs up and then they were like, hide around the corner because there's a chance that he'll start doing his laser. So we were just kind of, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of eat. But he didn't.
Yay!
He ended up being fine. There was no unfortunate last minute running into new areas, trying to help everyone, and then being blasted in the face
by a giant
a disease laser. Yeah.
Hey, you got him!
Hey, we did it. Yeah, we did it. When you beat the Arch-Tempered, which are the hardest versions of the monsters, they have an orange outline that require HR 50 minimum. You can get tickets, which give you access to 2 different rewards. This one, in this case, this is the Gamma variant of the Valhazak armor, which I think I'll end up making one of the pieces of, because you still get credit for the set bonus, but it has different skills, different slots.
Right.
It's just good to have. You can also get different layered armor, so I think that the Valhazak, you can turn the tickets in for the Death Stench armor.
It's time for my favorite armor set.
But yes, the actual Appreciation Fest, if you get enough tickets, which I have, you can get the Gala suit, which is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good. Look at that.
Sparkle. You sparkle.
You literally sparkle. You literally sparkle. We're going to have to do some coordination here. I feel like having the gold trim is really nice for this particular look. We're going to do blue trim for this one because, yes, we also got the Kulu head.
Yes, you did.
Let's look at some other things that we can do. So the Timberland Troublemakers.
Hey, I'm in this one.
You are in this one. You see a little name on the side.
Yeah.
The Timberland Troublemakers, it's 2 low-rank Anjanaths, so that you can get tickets to make Bristly Crake tickets, so you can make a fun hammer.
Yes.
Which we'll be seeing at the end of this.
Nice.
So this is very easy. I was very happy with my dodge dancing around this particular Anjanath. I just thought that was a very good string, and since I'm editing it, I can just include the good parts.
Right, yeah.
So.
I mean, I wasn't recording at this point, so...
There's my chicken head.
Yep. There's the one we caught.
This guy's not going to go away. So remember, when you throw out a flash bomb, it's line of sight from where it explodes to the monster's eyes. So you can shoot from behind, in front of them, and that will work out.
Yes.
Look at that beautiful, beautiful chicken boy. I suppose it's a chicken girl.
Yep.
Bristly Crake ticket.
Nice.
The Bristly Crakes is a rare endemic life.
I've caught one.
Look at that head. Look at that guy. It starts with the Bristly, I forget what the first one's called, but the Bristly Grudge is the upgraded version of that. And it's just like
it's a voodoo doll bird
yeah,
hammer.
Like voodoo. It's great. It's actually a pretty good poison hammer. It probably would replace my Buonfiore.
Yeah,
which is my usual poison hammer type.
It looks like a Bristly Crake. Yeah.
There's a few other event quests that had special rewards that I'm just going to go ahead and collect right here.
Yeah.
There's some special lances we can make. So the Midnight Mayhem, which, here's a pro tip. If you take the Wing Drake, it drops you off at the back of the arena.
Yep.
So if, for example, you're doing the Gajalaja lockdown, you want to do this because you can get to where the Gajalaka are without getting in the way of the bear off.
Right.
But in this case, all we're doing is just beating up 10 Gastodons.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. This doesn't take very long at all.
No.
We'll be getting a few, just some good choice hits with the Bristly Crake. You get First Fleet tickets. That's the special thing for this particular one, which you can use to get the Shooting Star Lance.
Which is a paralysis lance.
It's cool looking. It's not the best paralysis lance, but it does have natural paralysis, so you don't have to use free element for it. It has 2 different levels, and I made both of them, but they're not in my regular lance rotation, so whatever. Scrapping with the Shamos is another one that'll give some special tickets. Actually, it's I think black crystals.
Maybe
dark cloth Black cloth.
Black sinister? Nope, black cloth.
No,
Black bandage. There it
which
is.
a kind of black cloth.
Yeah.
But yes, this is used to make the
sealed eye patch.
yeah, sealed eye patch, which I made it. We're not going to use it, but hey, it's just a neat little thing.
Yeah, is it a reference to something?
I don't know. I mean, anime.
Maybe.
We can also use the appreciation tickets to make the White Wind Lance, which is a variation of the other Star Lance we made. The
Except
Sapphire
it's
Star
sleep.
Lance. Except it's got sleep on it. So there we go. Nice. We can have a nice white banner. Matches our. The two special quests, or I guess the new special event quests that were available. We'll see the other one in a second here. We'll actually spend a lot more time with the other one. But this is My Name's Lavasioth and The Greatest Jagras, which we'll see in a second, were not at the same time. The Greatest Jagras actually came out for the first 2 weeks, and then this was the last half of the festival. It's the Lavasioth one is not. It's not great. It's just a tempered Lavasioth. So a tempered Lavasioth is just as annoying to fight as a regular Lavasioth.
Yeah, it's still not a fun
Fortunately,
enemy.
I have my awesome vampire set that I was talking about last episode. So I can just sit there and poke for days. Also, I because of the Greatest Jagras, have the ability to have a Mind's Eye Jewel, which means I never bounce.
Right.
So it's got Razor Sharp and it's got, the Mind's Eye to never bounce. And then that
you just drain health.
Yeah, he drains my health. I get it right back by just doing some fun pokes. His nuke, where he just does a fireball, can one-shot most everyone, so try and avoid that. But every time he does a nuke or a fire puddle, there's like a gemstone that appears, face stone.
Nice.
So this is meant for farming decorations.
Right.
And this particular quest, the My Name's Lavasioth, comes with guaranteed worn. I forget what the highest level one is.
Right.
Like faded, the best kind, which has the highest chance for level 7 and 8 gems. But the Greatest Jagras is the best thing.
Also, look at that outfit.
Look at that kitty.
It has a guitar on his back, and his weapon is a microphone. It's so good. Hey, that's my character.
That's you.
Yeah.
Hey, you're here for this one.
Yeah.
You got a little frosting on your face. Though.
Yeah, because it's a cake. It's a cake.
It's a cake. It's a pretty good cake. It's like little strawberries on it and everything. So the Greatest Jagras was the other special event, which was this is a very good quest.
Yeah.
It takes the Greatest Jagras and it makes it into a menacing horrible monster.
Yeah.
It's not considered tempered or arch-tempered, but it might as well be because of the damage it does. But
so
it's
ridiculous.
better.
Yeah.
It's better than tempered arch-tempered because the actually has new moves, which are borrowed from, the other types of monsters.
Right.
It has trimmers. So I have some sets that have tremor resist specifically for this, but it's large, slam move, which is going to be familiar from the behemoth.
Yeah.
With its forepaws, is so much damage.
Yeah.
But the other thing that they added was the really gross vomit.
Yeah, they did.
So now when the Greatest Jagras, which is a real big boy, about a minute into the quest, he runs over and he swallows an Aptomoth whole. Which, all of these behaviors are things that the Greatest Jagras could do, except that normally it doesn't because it dies before you're done loading in.
Yeah.
Usually.
You just murder it super fast.
So it's very nice to have a very good. It's a much harder and more interesting version of the Greatest Jagras, which is the best possible outcome, right? So once it feeds and it gets its big belly, it will gain access to its gross vomit attacks,
which is the best attack.
The vomit does so much damage; it's ridiculous.
Now,
we'll see
if you got a gun lance with guard up.
So now it's got a. It says higher roar, velocity, yes, strength.
Yep.
Yeah, everything it does is
There it is.
Look great. Hey, look, there's nice little lines indicating where the items are.
It's
That's
nice.
neat.
It's super nice.
It's weird it's not on my screen.
It's
but
weird. Yeah.
So the Greatest Jagress constantly vomits up these phase stones, which
so
is where you can get
nice.
like up to like 30 of these things.
It's so good.
There's a lot of videos on YouTube, even though the events concluded at this point, that went into like the actual math of what the most efficient way to farm it is, and it turns out that like if you can get it really, really fast kill, it's faster to just kill it really fast with CC lockdown, crowd control lockdown, etc.
Right.
Because just it does so much damage, it's ridiculous. Superman dive. I'm fine.
Yeah, that was actually a really good dive.
It was a good dive. I'm very happy with that dive. Oh boy, it
Oh
rolled
boy,
on you.
howdy. Now this is the great
David
part.
gonna live? Yeah, no. Now it's because the shield was not pointing the right direction.
Yeah, I should have just tanked it. I could have, and I didn't.
Yeah. So if you're in that situation, right back in. We got that ancient potion. We're back in.
Yep.
So if you're ever in that situation, you have a shield weapon.
I'd have to know that's so many rib cages.
It's like Mortal Kombat 2 in here.
So many spines and rib cages.
So if you're ever in that situation where you need to block in a direction and also move away, it is possible to do in this game, at least, by holding the block button and then left trigger so that you face a particular direction.
Right.
So you can kind of strafe in a particular direction. You can block and walk backwards as an example. And there's a Devil Joe here, and he's a tiny one.
Yeah.
He's always a small crowd Devil Joe, and he's just
annoying.
there for the.
Yeah.
He's there to be annoying
Isn't
and for the Greatest Jagress.
It's so easy to find all of these stuff.
I know, it's weird how easy it is. You just know exactly where to go.
Yeah.
What convenience.
Yeah.
The joys of mods.
Choice of mods. I had a
This is
few
why
others.
You should definitely get this on PC.
Yeah, you super should. It's better in every way.
It's better in every way.
Oh, you get content later.
Oh no. But then there's all this other content you can have now.
For free.
So the Devil Joe's there to just is basically the Worf effect, where he's there to like be beaten up to prove how badass the other characters are.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, Devil Joe, the World Eater, and then it just gets slammed on by the Greatest Jagress, the weakest of the monsters.
Yeah.
The way they redesigned the Greatest Jagress is great, and it gives me a lot of hope for Iceborne specifically, for G rank stuff. Because the G rank in previous games, you'll usually get new moves for monsters, which is not something that really happens between low and high rank.
They just get more aggressive.
Yeah, more aggressive, or you get variations of monsters. Like the Pink Rathian, which basically the same. It's technically it does have a corkscrew flip, which is you need to have a slightly different positioning to survive, but yeah, it's not as much as like getting new moves, which is really the kind of interesting thing about G rank. Everything else is just tweaking the numbers up higher, which that's fine. It's you chase the numbers, you get armor with better defense, you get weapons with better numbers. It's that kind of game. But the actual interesting part is not that. Not really. Although, seeing numbers increase is very fun. It's, of course. But seeing the boy. Just need to kind of get blocked it. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
The good thing is this was so long ago, I don't actually remember how everything went in this fight.
All right, we both have wide range on. Everyone's gonna stay healthy.
Yep. Yeah, eventually
the trimmers in this game last so long.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's so long.
Yep.
When I made my like high rank sort of like easy fun time having set, which is just max earplugs, max trimmer resist.
Yeah.
So I can just ignore everything.
Oh, I just saw that message. We'll send money via PayPal. I like that.
There's some good auto responses for the heals. We both saw it. We're like, all right, we need a heal.
Yeah.
Health buddies.
Yeah. I pretty much decided if I'm doing gun lance, I'm not actually there to do damage. I'm there to not get hit too hard and to heal people.
Same Same thing with Lance. Lance is a steady poke damage weapon.
Yeah.
We have a lot of lances and gun lances in this particular fight for some reason.
It's because it's really good. It's a fun weapon.
It's also pretty safe for the Greatest Jagras, which is much stronger than you might think.
Yeah, because again, have the full guard buff and then guard up. You can block pretty much everything he does, and not take damage. But
finally, that full burst.
Yeah, finally got to do one or two.
Kind of got two
full bursts, and the follow-up slash. And I do have polish on, so that didn't affect my sharpness at all.
Do you have a protected polish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the fun thing about the Gala set. Every set has 2 small gems and then either a rank 2 or rank 3 gem slot. So you can just have all the skills you want with the same armor set.
I'm using the layered set, but you're actually using the
actual Gala set because I think it looks cool and I like the utility. And I don't have to min-max.
I had a fancy plan of trapping the Jagras. This didn't work out because of the Devil Joe coming in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a little bit of a distraction. Oh well, this is happening now.
Yeah. Super clumsy Devil Joe just ruined everybody's fun.
Oh, so the Jagras is eating again.
Yeah.
Look at that terrifying jaw.
Oh, that's
great.
so not okay. Oh, I love it.
But this means we can get more vomit.
Yeah. Which also means you can poke the stomach more. What's really great is if he's fat and you knock him over and just wail on him, he spits up all of the phase stones in the exact same spot.
Yeah, we'll actually see that in a second here.
Okay,
we'll be able to
good.
get a trip. We'll get the trip while he's still full.
Yeah.
And it's gross. He just starts spewing. Good times.
Oh, just
Tunk. So close. Not
dang
quite.
it.
This is like one frame away.
yeah. Yep. Look at that. Screw you. You can't hit me. And then put it away and heal. And then shoot.
At this point, I'm like, oh, I should start drinking as I'm entering. So it's to blind him. Nope, other direction.
Come on.
Nope. Hop. Do the hop. Get into the. It's fine. It's fine. He's over there now. It's fine. Tink.
Nice.
So the Greatest Jagras' stomach, when it's full, is like one of the highest weakness zones in the game. So you're doing like the most damage of anything in the game.
He's just puking.
And he's just
puking.
There is a maximum to the amount of phase stones you can get from the puke. So
Yeah.
you can't just like keep doing it forever. But
Right.
yes, he'll eventually just kind of
He'll run out of puke.
He'll run out of puke. And his hit zone values change, I think. Which I think he's also poison. Yeah, he's poison.
He's poison. Yeah, because I'm using the gun lance.
Knocked him over again. That poor Jagras. So this, I don't know, this is just a great design fight.
Yeah.
It's much harder, but it also makes you appreciate the design that went into the Jagras in the first place.
Right.
Because like the whole, like, he actually hunts and eats things, and then he has different, animations and moves when he's full versus when he's not full, and like giving him new moves when he's full that it's like super damaging, but also, making him like a fountain of goodies so that you get greedy and try and grab them all and get smacked. It's just really well designed. The Lavasioth fight was not really, just because it's the exact same fight. Yeah, it's the same thing. This guy is not quite ready. I thought that maybe, but not quite.
Almost. Now he's skull.
He's about to start limp. Yeah, they've got limps on now. Some extra pokes here.
We're all just wailing on him at this point.
This Tremor's so long. It lasts so long.
But yeah, Tremor lasts forever.
He's just gonna go punch the Devil Joe.
Just had to go
leave.
knock out the Devil Joe.
He's like, hold on. I have to go assert my dominance. Time for a nap.
Yep.
Beep beep, Lance coming through.
It's such good movement. Oh, I didn't know you got to keep doing it after you jumped.
Oh,
That's
you
nice.
can keep going. You can jump up ledges. You can jump off ledges. I ran out of stamina, but that's okay. Don't have infinite stamina.
Yeah.
He's got sleepy.
Ooh.
I did have to go back to camp and get all of my traps again.
Yep.
But still.
And you got him.
There we go. We did it. Success. Let's put an appreciation firework down. Pew, 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 pew. It's got little cat paws.
Yeah.
Look at all them stuffs.
Yeah, look at all that.
These stuffs have a higher % chance of dropping good things for some reason.
Weird.
There's a folder on my computer that does that for some reason. It's weird.
It's
Oh, look, expert jewels. Yeah,
Nice.
that's nice. I can get some good things out of
even
this.
with that weird
Destroyer,
folder, you still get
Fletcher.
geology and botanist though.
Yep, sure do. Sure do.
Yeah.
Stealth. I think I ended up getting a true shot out of this too. Earplugs is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I don't need any more of them, but peak performance, oof, very good. That means that I can have level 3 peak performance with just one piece of Lunastra armor. So it gives you 2.
What is peak performance? It's like you get
Peak
a bonus for having
is
max health.
You get attack bonus with maximum health, which is why it works so well with the Balhazak super recovery, recover up, and the health augments and stuff like that.
Right.
Which are used for that kind of thing.
Okay, so you tend to just have all the health anyway.
Yes, exactly. So you prioritize being able to heal and be at full health at all times. Getting chip damage that you take from blocking things is recovered with super recovery or from just a poke or two. It does mean that the right side of your screen is constantly filled up with notifications.
Peak
Peak performance has activated. Peak performance has deactivated. Peak performance has activated. Peak performance has deactivated. So there's that.
But I mean,
That's the Appreciation Fest.
Yeah.
There was a ton more events that were available. All the ones we've seen in previous festivals were basically there.
Yeah.
And there's other Arch-Tempered ones as well. Arch-Tempered Teostra, Arch-Tempered...
Kieran.
The Arch-Tempered Kieran. Then on console, they had Arch-Tempered Kushala and Xeno, and those aren't on PC, but eventually they will be. And, but whatever. Those are fine. It's a slightly tweaked, but not necessarily... It's slightly tweaked armor sets, and then like a nice sort of like layered armor set. Those are the things you get from the Arch-Tempered, which I think is ideal for end game toughest monsters. Because if it was just like, get a weapon that's better, or get an armor that's just literally better in every way, then you run into the issue of like, all right, I made the new armor, so that what am I using it against?
Right.
I beat the hardest thing technically.
Yeah.
So.
Here's the best weapon in the game, and now you're done.
Yeah, and now you're done. So having it be like these neat cosmetics, so you can do fashion, cosmetic rewards is pretty cool. I do appreciate that.
The overall game design of Monster Hunter is... If Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter World is...
Be specific.
Yes,
Don't say things you can't take back.
is very good. It is very consistently good. Like as far as like the game loop and the structure of everything. And if there are little bits and pieces of it you don't really like, I mean, you can just magically have folders on your computer that adjust them.
I can't stress this enough. And maybe what's the best way to put this? Let me talk game philosophy for just a second here.
Game philosophy. All right, let me crack open my Diet Coke and let's do that.
Okay. I don't believe, and this is personal preference for game design, that there should be RNG in video games. Because to a certain extent, that's like the clickbait title of the thesis, right? So like games where you just repeat things with a small chance of getting something. I have no place for that in my life, and I don't think that anyone needs that in their life. It's just not worth it. Right. Games where you just grind for something forever and then just get pissed off constantly because like you do a 25-minute thing and then it's a 1% drop and you don't get the 1% drop and you're just like, I guess I'll just do it again, and then you write angry like Reddit posts on the internet and complain on forums about like, oh, this is so garbage, this skin game. And like, no. Don't do any of that. Your life is more important. Your time and your life is more important than that. Play the game when you have fun. And then if you're not having fun, don't play the game. This is good advice for people like to play MMOs or like say Destiny and constantly complain about new Destiny. It's like just play other video games. Same thing with Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World in game, people complain about the internet complains about everything, but it's basically it comes down to like, oh, it's such a grind. After 300 hours, it's such a grind to get this last, 0.75% chance drop for this gem I need in order to get a 1.2% DPS increase in this one build that I have not completed yet. And personally, this is why the PC version of the game is the best version of the game. Because you don't have to do any of that. If you still want to do that and you're still enjoying the game, fine. I've also done that. So like I went through the game, whatever decorations I got, it was fun to try and make builds with what I had available. And then I downloaded the mod that like gives slightly better, it reshuffles the percent chance drops so that you have higher chance for things that require more than one. And some of the garbage tier ones are lesser percent chance. Right. So basically you can get like a nice little like excitement of like, ooh, I don't have that before. Let's see if I can, work that into my builds. But then you can also just get a mod where you can just buy them. Yep. You just get them.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did that because I like Monster Hunter World a whole lot. I really enjoy playing the game a whole lot.
This is the part where you have to say what the hours on your save file are. It's basically required before every discussion about any Monster Hunter on the internet. You have to be like, well, I played it for 600 hours and 600 hours. Like I would play 600 hours first game. It's 1,200 hours. Anyways, this is a side rant.
Okay, so I like Monster Hunter World a lot. And to your hours played thing, the only game I have played more than 300 hours is Dark Souls 1, and that was because of depression. Also, I like the game, but that's mostly because of depression.
It can be both things.
So, Monster Hunter World, I enjoy playing a lot. I don't play it for the grind. I don't play it for like the low percent chance drops. But I also don't like the idea of just giving myself everything for free. Like I have the mod that lets me buy decorations. I can switch it to where I can buy any monster material. They're not cheap. Like some of those decorations are 40,000 zenny just for one.
Which, like, whatever, 40,000 zenny.
But like, there's still a material cost. Like,
sure. But the thing is that you're a grown ass man, and you know how you can have fun with a video game that's mostly single. And this is
only so much time.
This is a video game that is not competitive.
Yes. Oh yeah. So like, if it's competitive, don't cheat. Don't mod.
Obviously, don't do that. That's a whole separate can of worms.
Yeah.
This is a cooperative game, if anything. Mostly single player and cooperative. And yeah, RNG in games is just, it's padding, it's a Skinner box, it's just a drip feed, like, gambling nightmare of like getting stuck in patterns and like short reward cycles and whatnot. Yeah. It's not okay in the long run.
No.
To just try and keep people trapped in that.
It's also like just like having like variation in games is fine. Like variation in enemy behaviors can be fine. Variation in all these things can be fine. But if you've ever watched a speed run for a game and they're like, all right, this section can take a minute or 25 minutes, just depends, that's not okay. That's just not okay.
Watching Diablo 2 speedruns is always entertaining. It's like, well, Didn't get the rune. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
The Monster Hunter world does it mostly... Well, actually, Monster Hunter as designed mostly does it correctly, because to compare it to Destiny, as an example of another game with, a loot grind at the end. At least one that I've played a lot of. Of course, there's Diablo and other games that have loot grinds, but I don't play those as much. But it's that you have in Destiny, and they're always changing and tweaking things. But generally speaking, you're going to do some sort of activity, and you'll get a random thing. So you do the activity, you get like a magical MacGuffin that becomes a random item. And you're like, all right, it's the one I had before, or it's the one that wasn't the one I was looking for, or, it's not the right kind of armor. It's like, I wanted a helmet and they gave me the gloves and I got gloves the last time, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
It's that kind of randomness sucks.
It's bad. It's super bad.
It sucks and is bad. And they Bungie spent tons of time trying to put patches out where it's like, oh, well, this time, if you'll have a higher chance of getting something you haven't gotten before. And, there's all kinds of tweaks to the percentages and the drop tables and blah, blah, blah. But it ultimately just kind of sucks because it's just a line of code that's running and it's being like, no, I'm gonna need more time from you.
Yeah, and it's
like
it's not like it's not like it's a living quest or whatever where it changes. It's like, no, you have to run the same three quests.
Just do the thing again
over and over. So it's not even like, oh, we're retaining players. It's like, no, you're just kind of pissing them off because they'll just stop.
So, that's not to complain about Destiny, because I love Destiny. Destiny's great.
I'm not singling out Destiny. I'm like all games like this.
Like I mentioned before, just you can play other video games. Like, if you get to a point, just stop. It's okay. Yeah. Come back later. Don't.
Have you played Crosscode? It's very good.
I hear that. I feel like we recommended that on this channel. Monster Hunter World style compared to Destiny, but Monster Hunter in general, so Monster Hunter's been doing this style forever, is that you get random materials, but the actual stuff, you always know what it is and how far away you are from making it.
Right.
So if you want a particular weapon, you know that you need this particular, set of ingredients for it. It's like, oh, you need an extra ruby from this monster. The actual drop rate on the monster is, of course, going to be RNG. That still happens. Low % drops on those are
garbage.
Also something that
they're hot garbage. The Anjanath gem is hot garbage.
Yeah, which is, but the point being is that there's demonstrable progress that's made. Where you're like, I have 70% of the things I need to make the thing that I want. I can preview it, and I know that once I get this, I will guaranteed craft the thing that I wanted. And so it's random ingredients for a set reward rather than a set ingredient for a random reward, which is the case of a Destiny, where you just get an engram or something.
Or a Diablo 3 with the artifacts or whatever it is.
Which is like...
I will also say Monster Hunter World does give you a way around the low drop rate for a lot of the things because of the first variant prints.
A new thing for Monster Hunter World, which is a great step in the right direction, where the rarest, supposedly, some of them seem less rare than others, but the gems for monsters
9 wyvern gems,
are specifically can be melded with by doing the weekly challenges. So it's like, if you play the game and you play it regularly, then, and also you're doing the specific weekly challenges that they have set out to try and and that's an engagement thing. Obviously they want you to keep coming back and keep their numbers up, but it's a good way to do it, because then you're like, oh, okay, that means that there's demonstrable progress towards the goal. Which is why, generally speaking, I am always in favor of less to no RNG and more discrete quests or specific conditions. This is also something a Monster Hunter does, where if you want a particular piece of a monster, you have to break it, so you have to focus on that part. Some of them still have ridiculously low chances. but like something like a Diablo's Horn, which is fairly easy to break, you'll get one of the 3 types of Diablo's Horns by breaking the horn, as an example.
Yep.
I still think it has too much RNG, but there's so much of the design that I like and has improved over older Monster Hunter games. Also, and then you just combine that with having mods on the PC, and it's just the best way to play the game.
It is.
As Vinny Caravella would say, it's the best time to be playing video games.
Yes, it is.
And also I've put in like 500 hours in the game, so obviously my street cred is pretty good. So
you've also put hundreds of hours into Hunter's Generations Ultimate, so
sure, but that's just like those are baby numbers for Monster Hunter games.
That's true. Yeah.
Again, that's a side rant about people who are like, I put hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours chasing this 1% drop on this thing. I'm like, okay. Some of the things that you're boasting about shouldn't be boasted about.
Yeah, it's like, I spent 1,000 hours and got my 7 attack jewels. It's like, there's not even a lot of instances where 7 attack jewels is super worth it, dude. What?
Yeah. Anyways, okay, that's my game design rant on RNG.
Yes.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter World. Play it on PC. It's the best. If you like our content, this is our first.
I forgot that thing.
Yeah,
right.
This is like our first post-episode podcast for a while.
I haven't done podcasts in a while. I'm gonna put the podcast notice up on top. Yeah.
If you like our the stuff we do, feel free to support us on Patreon or like, comment, subscribe on the video. Like, all that stuff helps. We love making this stuff for y'all, and that just makes it easier.
Surprise! There's part 2. So what I like doing personally for RNG stuff, because I also like designing games.
Yeah.
That's really fun to do.
Yeah.
And doing like learning how to do programming and stuff is fun. But then it allows you to like actually think about what kind of system would you design in order to have to try and bridge the gap between like this pure randomness, which seems like more of a Skinner box trap, versus having everything happen right away, which might be unbalanced depending on how the game is laid out. And I'm always a fan of the bad luck prevention systems, where it's like if you have like a low percent chance to like a 1% chance drop on a thing, then every time it doesn't happen, it increases the chance until it's guaranteed, which is basically saying that at any time you could get it, which would get you to the end that you wanted. But every time you don't get it, there is demonstrable progress. I really like using the word demonstrable for some reason.
Right.
Demonstrable.
Yeah, demonstrable.
Now it doesn't. I don't know. Now it's lost all of its meaning. Demonstrable.
So it's actually like the way you just described it is how like older RPGs did, or some older RPGs did encounter rates. Like you just had a 1 in 64 chance of an encounter, took a step, all right, now you have a 2 in 64, and then you have a 3 in 64, and it just rolls the number every time you take a step. It's like, it's that kind of thing where, okay, it's been 64 steps, you now get an encounter. Guaranteed.
So that kind of thing, but for the positive reinforcement,
right,
is nice too. Now, of course, using 1% drop as just a random number, that's way too low.
That's never an acceptable drop.
Yeah, if something is going to be rare, then just make it, put extra steps, make it, its own like quest. Do this thing, do that thing.
If you
fight a boss, go fight a sub boss, infuse it with these other things. Put some money into it, put some materials into it, and then bam, you got your thing at the end. The way you engage with the other systems of the game and playing the game and getting the, it's directed still. It's designed and directed to get you towards particular parts of the game and engage with them. But then at the end, you've played the game and then got something out of it, so that hopefully you still enjoy playing the game and you want to keep playing the game to get the next thing.
Right.
Hopefully.
I will say, like, if you want to have a super low drop rate on a thing, make it a stupid joke or like something that's not like vital to progression, and make it to where literally anything could drop it. Like, that's, I feel like, I'm trying to remember, there was a game and it was a loot grind game, and I, for the life of me, cannot remember the name of it now, where there was just a stupid joke item you could get, and it was like a 0.1% or a 0.01% drop rate, but literally everything in the game could drop it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a stupid joke thing that you couldn't do anything with, and you just either put it in your box or you sold it. I really hope I'm not making that up, but I remember that.
I remember that. And if you did make it up, is at least a legitimate design.
It's a legitimate design decision, yeah.
Also, knockout lists, very, very nice. I like those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have, let's say, like 12 things it could be, and each time you get one of those things, then it's removed from the possibilities when doing that thing again.
Exactly.
So that you will eventually get all of the things in a particular list. It's just the order with which you get them will be randomized based on some kind of number.
Mm-hmm.
All right, surprise part 2 is over. Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter World.